Before I go in my presentation, maybe a couple of words to myself. I think left side you see some of the great companies I was able to work for. At the moment, I take a break before I take on a new challenge. What I did in the past quite a lot, and this is more the right side, is really thinking about how is marketing of the future, what is B2B sales looking into the future. And so these are things which keep me a bit sleepless at night. Otherwise, I live with my wife and daughter in Zurich. We like outdoor activities and try ourselves at culinary delights. So that's a bit only to my background. So when I was asked to look at the trends, I would actually like to turn that around and say, how bold can you be? I think there are 4 topics I would like to talk today. As we know that customer purchasing behavior is shifting online. I don't want to talk too much about the transactional piece, but more the importance of winning the battle for research. So getting to know products, getting information, guided purchasing, so increasing self-service. The second part, of course, we have a lot of physical customer interaction. It will be digitized. I think we also heard that right now. What I see a lot these days still is that the basics are not there. Basics in terms of master data management, PIM-DAM analytics to understand what's going on the online journey. And I think also looking at managing all channels. I think digital commerce is not only digital commerce. There are so many variations, and all those channels have to be managed consistently and increasingly also in a hybrid way. So I don't believe that sales reps or sales back office sales engineers will move away because products are getting more and more complex. But it's a combination, it's a hybrid combination. And I think the boldest topic to tackle is SG&A, where we see today an SG&A composition pretty much influenced by feet on the street. In the future, we see a bigger component of marketing and of technology, and the key question is how to manage that. So these are some of the areas I would like to talk to you. And before we go in, maybe some introduction into digital commerce. And you see here the purchase funnel. I think what is super important to differentiate here is the research part on the left side and the transactional part, so the purchase and operate part. And the more we see customers going to guided purchasing, looking for information online, the more I see revenue at risk if manufacturers do not transform, because companies who actually manage this digital interaction well, they have a big chance to influence customer buying decisions upfront and hence take some of the market share. I think the second part when we talk digital commerce is more here on the right, what I call pure and ROPO. So again, a lot of companies or manufacturers, when they talk e-commerce or digital commerce, they look about, okay, how much money do we invest and how much transactions do we do? So that's more the pure e-commerce, where you, for example, bring traffic to your distributor jointly, and then the transaction is done on a web shop. Or you bring traffic to your eBusiness portal and it's done on your eBusiness backend system. I think what is more challenging and actually the volume to influence, which is a lot bigger, is ROPO, so research online, purchase offline. Obviously, lead transfer is a big part, but I see a lot of companies who focus more on pure and forget about the ROPO. And in my experience, I'm a bit black and white now, maybe a bit provocative. I don't care whether our products are sold via a distributor, online, offline, or our web shop. I think it's more important to get the customers attracted to our products. So that is that part. And when I talk a lot about winning the battle for research is a must, there are a lot of new disciplines popping up. And that's more the green part on the left side you see here. And that means how to transform with new capabilities and new technology. So it's a bit both a a process, a governance, and a technology part. So if you only look at performance marketing to start with, so how do you attract customers online? How do you bring traffic, whether paid or non-paid, with search engine optimization or topics on social, to your own websites or portals? Where then engagement marketing plays. And again, if you look in your own companies, how good is your .com for customer interaction? It's quite often, in my experience, investor relations side or, but it's grown over the last 10, 20 years. But it's not really targeted to engage customers for their needs, and that is getting the right information, getting the right solutions for their sometimes manufacturing demands or whatever they are looking for. And you see another part which is a bit blurry at the moment. So this is website and portal and integrated selection tools. It can be starting from a simple selector to an application-driven configurator. Again, it's how do you bring more the physical world into an online world? However, that whole funnel must be managed holistically. So you see where it's going from green to orange. A topic, how do you transfer an online lead? I think this is, again, an age-old topic between marketing and sales. But how do you manage that? And then if you even go further down the funnel, we see a trend to interact much more directly with customers via installed base management or digital twin or operation support. So this is one of the trends when we talk about how digital commerce will change the interaction and deploy the use of technology. So I think, Matti, you mentioned it before in your statement that there are more channels over the last years, and I have looked at a slide which is from McKinsey, where they looked from 2016 to 21 that the channels are increasing, and mainly hybrid and digital channels and selling teams are growing. When I saw that slide, I actually looked even a step further, and that's more the trends on the right side. So we talk about today hybrid e-commerce portals, including CPQ solutions. So giving your customers a space where they can discover the products and solutions, where they can also start to configure. It must not be a final configuration, but it's a start of engaging with a certain products. Or you see a trend of third-party marketplaces. How do you actually go on a third-party marketplace like an Alibaba, Amazon, Mercado Libre? Do you go yourself? Do you send your distributors? Do you fulfill yourself? Do you let others fulfill? So there are a lot of changes, and I think they will still go and evolve over the next 5 to 10 years. And especially, I think what I do like here is, or what I want to state is, it's not always pure. I think for complex topics, we still want to interact with sales reps. There is still a part of consultative selling, and how do you manage these channels? That is, I think, one of the key successes. And if you look now at the channels, I think there's a success formula when you talk digital commerce. It's actually simple. It's 5 components. It's A, how you conduct marketing. B, your data content. So quite often you hear also when you talk now a CPQ, or you go on a web shop, what data and content do we have? Do we have the right attributes? Do we have the right videos? Is it how is the quality of data content? C is offering products and services. Digital commerce is not only components or commodities. It can also be, to a certain extent, a complex product. Maybe then you go to the hybrid part to finish the journey. Obviously, prices and conditions in the technology. So what I felt that if one of those 5 components does not work, the entire digital commerce is broken. Give you an example. If you sell products on Amazon, You can do a nice marketplace marketing. You can have a good offering, which is e-commerce optimized. You can have the right prices, but if your content is bad, no one will actually buy it, because this is one of the parts which fits together from a customer experience. Or if you work with a distributor, you can do joint marketing. You can have the right content, but your offering is not really optimized for e-commerce. So these are the topics which companies have to learn and build up capabilities. And not only the success formula is relevant with those 5 components, but also I believe it's very important to fix the basics. So I think it's always quite attractive to have a nice portal. But master data management is not fitting, or you don't have a proper PIM in place, or you don't have an analytics in place. So while you optimize and transform, I maybe can call it, there's the sexy stuff like with nice tools or apps or portals, but there is a hidden area, which is what I always call the foundations, which needs to be in place to make it work. And you see that also when you go then into the various funnels. So if you look at the capabilities or strategies and tactics you deploy along the customer journey, and you see here on the slide, again, the success formula on the horizontal area. And you see the various funnel or channels you can use. So you can, for example, buy or sell via your own supplier portal, or via distributor portal or marketplace. And look at only the capabilities you have here. So I don't want to go through every single of those capabilities, but it is not a one-size-fits-all how to solve digital commerce. It's a very dedicated capability in a combination with all the other success formula components. Yeah? And I think if companies are not able to manage this complexity, future revenue is at risk. And that was, I think, the title of what I said before. So because if you do nothing or not consistently as customer behaviors and markets are continuing to change. So when you look at the left side of the chart here, where you see the offline market. So the offline market is shrinking in a way, because we know that with pure or ROPO, what I explained at the very beginning, there is more and more digital commerce induced sales. Yeah. So if you don't do anything, then the green part, which is your revenue, at risk, because it could be that some competitors are more consistent, they are faster, they are taking, for example, the search part in Google, they are having a much easier to navigate website, they have much easier configurators. They will actually take over a big share of the online part of your company. So when you look at this revenue at risk, then I only named a couple of topics which came to my mind. One is speed. I think we are quite used to go very incremental. So shall we go incremental, or shall we just say we work on a solution very fast in an MVP, so minimum viable product style approach, to get something out? Courage is something which I encountered so often, because especially in marketing and sales, it's proven, or the ways how we do it today are proven, and we are still growing nicely. Why do we have to change? What is the right timing for change? Yeah. Or if you look at capabilities like an agile IT, is the IT department, which is quite often in a waterfall, organized according to waterfall approaches, can you work on agile IT? Can you work on MVPs? Can you have like a customer IT? So these are a couple of the topics for transformation which I came across a lot. And again, there is no silver bullet to change all that. I think every company has to find its own way to manage that. And I found the last here on this last slide the most tricky discussion is always when you talk about investments and returns, and especially when you look at the SG&A composition of industrial companies. On the left side, you see different type of industry segments like manufacturing, OES, or consumer durables, and then you move more to your right where you see the main components. You actually see that until today, the biggest component in general is sales and service. But imagine you invest in your marketing, you invest in transactional marketing, operational marketing, you invest in new digital commerce technology, or you even go more direct with your customers because you have IoT solutions. So if those cost blocks tend to rise, how do you manage the overall SG&A? Do you want to keep flat and optimize there, or do you say you want to invest in over a couple of years and then capitalize on the investments you have done before? So coming to the topic of, I think we need to transform because markets are changing. Our customers want to buy differently, and we always said we wanna sell how the customers want to buy. And then you go into how you can transform. And I collected a couple of thoughts here. I think number one, and this shocked me a little bit, is also a source from McKinsey, where they said only 16% of respondents claim that they have improved performance. So transformation hard, digital transformation is harder. In my experience, yes, because a lot is about explanation. Why do we change processes? What is digital commerce? Do customers really want to buy online? So these are fundamental discussions. I think the second piece, which is to me most important, is number two, is it's all about leadership. So if you see a C-level who is supporting the change and who believes in the change, who has a shared vision and continuously shares this vision, is able to convince also middle management and all the other functions of the company to move to that transformation. And again, it's quite a tough way. I felt in my past jobs, on paper it's good, but as soon as you influence people's daily way of working or new processes, or you say to a sales rep, you don't have to go out on the field as much anymore, just focus more on consulting, and lead generation is done online. So these are fundamental changes which require a lot of thoughtful governance. I think a very professional change approach, and for making a digital commerce transformation successful, I always came back to the success formula. These are multiple areas you have to master all together in order to get the best result out of it. So it's not only technology, but it's in the end. So give you an example, in one of my old companies, we built a new customer portal. We forgot to bring customers to the portal. We forgot to bring the entire offering to the portal. We didn't know how to transact on the portal. So this type of topics need to be managed in order for a successful transformation.